Effective Communication PowerPoint by Ben Garrett. When do athletes communicate with media? Athletes will communicate with media when they will sign various things for public. Also, if an athlete is trying to raise any money for a good cause by interacting with media causes the charity to be more well known and have more chance of raising more money. On the other hand, an athlete will want to be known as a people's athlete who takes time to engage with the public so their image and how people think of you changes as they will look up to you as you're giving time back to the people who support you most. Lastly, athletes will communicate with media so that if something isn't true, it can be put right by the athlete coming out and saying about the situation. Types of media I have looked into: TV and newspapers. Types of significant others I have looked into: fans and sponsors. Verbal or written: TV, verbal; newspaper, written; social media, written; sponsors, verbal and written. Factors to consider when communicating: knowing the type of audience it is to, behaving in the right manner, being able to answer all questions, consider what you're writing will stay there for a long time, so never put anything inappropriate. Able to know how to attract sponsors in an audience as well. Finally, preparation is a must, as you must be fluent in what you say, so presentation is also another big thing. And also, what emotions will you show and why? The importance of planning for interviews. Being well rehearsed so you don't mumble and don't forget what to say. Showing how professional you are and setting high standards. Able to feel confident and positive so you have no nerves when in the interview. Not panicking and not talking too fast as the audience won't be able to understand you clearly. Giving a clear message out of what you're talking about as you're very passionate. Career planning. The importance of planning for both a career as an athlete and a backup career. How can you be really happy at doing what you love most, earning good money that supports you for the future? So we are able to not become bankrupt and start to suffer in many ways. If you get a serious injury that forces you to retire from your sport, you will then have other alternatives to do, also to be able to earn good money from. What is goal setting and SWOT analysis, and how they help the planning process? We all set goals, so then we are, as an individual, able to reach certain targets in a time period we set. With SWOT, this is when we pick out our strengths, weaknesses and opportunities, and also other possible threats we may face. SWOT analysis for Esteban in football. Strengths: knowledge of opponents. He's always able to know what type of formation they play and the positional play of each player, and tactically what they do from set pieces and other corners. Focus: Esteban is very focused on the activity and he's always able to perform at the best level. Communication: he always communicates with his teammates, so that he's able to call for the ball when he's got time and he's got space to be able to receive the ball and pass it on up towards the goal. Work rate: Esteban works very hard at trying to win the ball back and always try his best for the team. Weaknesses: discipline. Esteban's discipline is sometimes questionable when he's got teammates on his team that start to get angry and frustrated with him if he has made a bad pass, and he sometimes lashes out and get quite angry at them, causing him to have an argument and start to raise his voice. Attacking heading. Esteban feels that his attacking heading needs to be worked on, as he feels that as a defensive player, when he wants to clear the ball, he wants to be able to get more distance on the ball, so then there's not as much pressure on his team, and then they are able to come out and push forward up towards the other goal. Weak foot crossing. Esteban has got a very good right foot at crossing, but he believes that his left foot at crossing isn't as good, so he will want to develop in this section, so then he's able to develop and become as a better footballer. Shooting, weak foot as well. Shooting from distance and also shooting from short distance. Opportunities. Facilities, so facilities can be very close to Esteban's home, and also support with various things you need help with. Threats as well. Money, travel, injury which can cause retirement, and also age. Short, medium and long-term goals. Short-term goal, to develop my passing accuracy in the next 2 games. Medium-term goal, scoring a certain amount of goals halfway through the season. Long-term goal, want to be the player of the season after all the games have finished. Smart targets for a selected weakness. Specific, what you want to specifically achieve, as it's a big focus. Measurable, knowing if you've achieved all targets after a training session we attend. Achievable, if we want to think that it is able to be achieved, we want to set out a target that is able to be achieved. Realistic, a target that can be done if we put the work in. Time bound, when we will want to achieve the targets in a month or longer than that. Method of improving that weakness, by being more organised and prepared of getting all schoolwork done before training sessions and not leaving anything to the last minute and being worried. Sports psychology. Pathway of reaching that goal. To become a sports psychologist, you will need to get a degree in sports psychology. Course, sports psychology. Qualification and length. A bachelor's degree is a 4-year degree. Master's degree is only additional 2 years. A PhD or a PsyD is 2 years to 4 years. And salary, a sports psychologist in the UK will earn very good money in the region of £31,000 to £54,000 per annum. This can also be at £28 per hour in the UK. Entry requirements. The majority of universities will want you to have a DDM in level 3 sport, and they will also demand you have a B or above in both maths and English.